Back to the books for students across the valley, and although the school year has just started, your child might already be falling behind. But don't worry, we are in a place that can help. This is Libby Lossing. She is the Director of Operations here at Mathnasium. We're inside your Mesa location. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You make math fun, and you
Yes.
build a love of math for students. Tell us, introduce us to Mathnasium. What do you do here?
Yeah, so Mathnasium is an after-school learning center where students in kindergarten through 12th grade come to catch up, keep up, and get ahead in math. Mathnasium offers math tutoring and enrichment, homework help, and test prep services to help students excel in the classroom and beyond.
Yes.
And then in addition to our 23 Phoenix area learning centers, we also offer online educational programs through Mathnasium at home.
All right, so here's the cool part, parents. All of you parents who are watching, okay, we know that the school year has just started. Libby wants to remind you now is the time to take assessment of where your kid stands. And we will do that with an assessment exam right here at Mathnasium.
Yeah, so a student's educational journey at Mathnasium begins with a diagnostic assessment. This assessment allows us to take an objective look at where your student is currently performing compared to grade level proficiency standards. So the results of this assessment generate what's called a learning plan. A learning plan is a document that details all the curriculum that your student needs to master and retain in order to achieve their academic goals.
Perfect. So this is that customized plan we're talking about. And then they get to do some really fun stuff too, because if they master, right, a class or a session, they're going to get some fun stuff.
Yeah, so whenever the students come to the Learning Center, our primary goal is to get through their learning plan with them. So that learning plan is all the documented, customized curriculum that you would need for your student to grow and excel in math. So as they work through this lovely curriculum here,
Wow.
and this would be customized to the kids, so this is one child's, but your child's might look entirely different. They earn rewards and prizes.
Yes.
And we like to celebrate their milestones because it's exciting whenever your student's growing.
Yes.
So maybe your student's been behind in math and now they're finally getting B's, or maybe they're getting A's, because we like to put the A+ in math, right? So we like to celebrate their milestones. We like to document.
Yes,
We
and
like
this-
to celebrate.
And this is so fun for kids. So you come in, you can do a little selfie, like let's do one. All right, so this is after the session's over. You can come over to the selfie booth. Yes!
Cute.
That is a lot of fun. All right, who benefits from supplemental learning?
Honestly, so many kids. So it's really underestimated how many kids could benefit from a Learning Center program. So like I said earlier, we like to catch up, keep up, and get ahead in math. So the catch-up kids are the kids who you probably most traditionally think of. So they're in need of remediation because they're either failing their math class or they are falling dramatically behind and they need that remediation. Then there's our keep-up kids. So those are the kids that have a B and then want to get the A. They're already doing fairly well, but they want to excel. So it's pretty common misconception that a B is a good grade, because it is.
Right,
it is.
right. It's passing, right?
Yeah, but it could mean that your child's missing up to 20% of the curriculum. And since math is a class that's rooted in its prerequisite skills, if your child's missing 20% of their prerequisite skills, you really risk a snowball effect of that tumbling into a C and then
Right.
potentially an F. So you want to get in as soon as you can.
Yes. Okay. So we want to just kind of walk you through. This is an in-person session. You still have, you know, for those parents who are concerned about COVID, you still have all of those necessary precautions in place?
Yes, absolutely. So temperature checking, hand sanitizer readily available, our screens, our
Yes,
plexiglass screens to be able to
absolutely.
keep some distance. We sit one kid per table so that way they're all spaced out.
Right. And students obviously are in school right now, which is why the Learning Center is empty. But you really want this to be a student-instructor experience. Parents not allowed in this portion of the Learning Center, right? And why is that so important?
So we want to be able to focus on your child and giving your child the help that they need. We are experts, okay? You came to us because we are experts. So this is your time to go to the grocery store,
Right.
go to Orange Theory next door, enjoy your day, and let us just focus on this time with your kid, because we want to see exactly where they're at as the experts and make sure that we're building upon their prerequisite knowledge. And we don't want any other distractions. This is learning time, so we don't want to be thinking about other things. We want to be focused on math.
Yes. And talk about some of the different reasons why a student may come to Mathnasium.
Okay, so there's a couple different really important milestones in your child's academic career. So there's a program that we call Great Foundations, which is your kid is in kindergarten. And so this is when they're learning to count, they're learning place value, they're learning shapes, all these really important skills. And it's also where your child starts to develop that growth mindset and when learning can be fun. Like, you want them to think it's fun right out of the gates. So great foundations in our kindergarten program is like our first major milestone. Next is 4th grade. So 4th grade is my favorite grade. It's our owner's favorite grade. It's our center director's favorite grade. 4th grade is so important for so many reasons, but mostly fractions. So fractions, whenever numbers are all of a sudden stacked on top of one another, that's where a lot of kids are just like, what is happening?
Yes, so this is what we're looking at here, right?
Yeah. So
this is that important fraction. Wow, okay.
And this is what's happening in their head. It's just bouncing all around. They're like, what is going on? So fractions in the 4th grade is super critically important. And then the next major milestone is going to be pre-algebra and just algebra readiness in general. So that happens for a lot of different kids at different ages, depending on how accelerated your child is in math. So it can start as early as 6th and 7th grade, but it might for your child be 9th grade. So it really varies, but algebra is really hard because that's when all of a sudden there's letters in math.
Yes, letters and equations and all of these things that can make us very scared because maybe math is not your child's favorite subject, but it can be.
It can
and
be.
This brag board is a big part of that. Explain the importance of giving those kids that place to kind of excel and then show off their work.
I know. So I know that all these say A+, and these children did get A+, but we celebrate all the different kinds of milestones because we know that not every child, like, the goal isn't always going to be an A+. Sometimes it's just to, like, fill in those gaps and finally feel good in a learning environment for the first time. There's a lot of studies that prove that math really dictates your child's confidence in school overall. So if we can just get through that one first hurdle by all of a sudden, like, this concept that they've been struggling on for 2 or 3 years, and every time they see, say, least common multiple, greatest common factor, every time that comes up in a class, they're just like, oh. Like, I thought I was done with that in the 4th grade. Now I'm a 7th grader. It's still coming back to bite me.
Yes.
So, no, whenever we can finally get them past those, like, mental blocks, it feels really good. So we want to build kids' confidence.
And you also help with STEM-bound students, you were saying. This is a great stepping stone for them as well.
Yeah, so I talked about earlier, there's catch up, keep up, and get ahead. So get ahead is our enrichment kids. So some kids come to us, like, we're like soccer or like any other after-school program that a kid might like. We're just their happy place. We're their happy, fun activity that they come to 2 to 3 times per week for 1-hour sessions. And it's because they love math and they want to be as advanced as possible, and they don't want to be held back by whatever's happening in school. They want to just take it as much as they can, as fast as they can, as far as they can. So we have a lot of enrichment kids who are looking to be STEM bound. They want to learn how to code. They want to be doctors. They want to be engineers. They want to be computer scientists. And they really express that passion to us at a young age. And we want to be sure that we're instilling that love of math all the way through.
Yes, and for all of you parents who think, you know what, I'll just hold off until the report cards come to assess where my child is, you said that's a no-no.
That's a no-no. So typically by the time report cards are coming out, your student's grade is like 60-65% set. And at this point, they're probably already struggling, and they need to remediate whatever they learned the first 60% of class. And in addition, they're still learning new stuff, and then they got a big cumulative assessment coming at the end of the year. So we want to make sure that we're getting them in as early as possible, so that way we can support them as early as possible, and we're not going to have that snowball effect that I referenced earlier, because that's really rough.
Yeah, it is rough. And don't worry, parents, I'm one of them. They may come home with an equation, you're like, wait a minute, this is a different way of learning for me. Math learning has changed. You know, the core curriculum might be a little different than how we learned it. It's okay. You can do homework too here.
Yeah, you can. So Common Core is something that scares a lot of parents, and that's okay, because it's a lot more modeling than what we're used to, because we were like computation kids. But my staff is very trained in the Common Core method. They know all the textbooks. We got the Saxon, we got the Singapore, we got the Eureka Math. We got it all figured out. We know your kids' books. So your child is not alone whenever they come in, because we've probably already helped some other child on that homework assignment already today. So we're the experts for getting the homework done and making sure your child actually understands it, because it's not enough to just get your homework assignment done and then get that completion grade. You want your child to be able to actually understand it, to be able to apply it later on in the week.
Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. Okay, so parents, guess what? We have a special offer just for you. It is their back to school special. Hey, the folks here at Mathnasium, they make math make sense, okay? So here is that special offer. Get $100 off of your child's first month of membership. Mathnasium, the Math Learning Center, has 23 Phoenix area locations. Call 877-601-MATH. That's 877-601-6284, or log on to mathnasium.com/PHX for more information.